also understand. So this Bhagavad Gita started with Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is asking his assistant Sanjaya, can you describe what is happening in the battlefield between my sons and Pandu's sons, his brother Pandu's sons? What's going on? So he asked Sanjaya. And by the mercy of Vyasadeva, even though they both are in Hastinapura in the court, but they are able to see where the fighting is happening, that is in Kurukshetra. So Sanjaya is capable of seeing it and describing what is going on there. So while describing, Sanjaya started off first saying, your son Duryodhana approached Dronacharya and speaking to Dronacharya. Even though Duryodhana is the king or the emperor, but here he has to visit Dronacharya. Why? Because king is dependent on his commanders. So Dronacharya is one of the commander. So he has to, right now they are in the battlefield, he has to listen to the commanders. So instead of Dronacharya going to Duryodhana, Duryodhana came to Dronacharya. And what did he say? Once he came, he said right away, your disciple Drishtadyumna is the leader on the other side. So especially he stressed the word your disciple, because Drishtadyumna was taught by all the military arts taught by Dronacharya. Now he is acting as command in charge on the other army. So you taught him, now he is fighting against you. And also your favorite disciples Arjuna, they are there on the other side. So indirectly he is what you call criticizing. See, you favored them, but now they are fighting against you. So you see how kind of, so he is trying to provoke Dronacharya such that Dronacharya will take it seriously and fight against to them. So here Duryodhana acting very diplomatically, very, very diplomatic. See, we all know that Duryodhana is a very proud person. Sometimes we call it as Abhimanadana. Abhimanadana. He has too much self-respect. So such person, he bent and went to Dronacharya. Why? He knew sorry, he knew what is at stake now. What is at stake right now? It is the kingdom, entire kingdom. So if they lose everything. Sorry. So that being said, he is trying to motivate Dronacharya in a different way. Now let us see. These are all the small verses until 29th verse or 21st verse. So let us read, one by one, and the purports are also very small, and you all can read one by one without any problem. So let us start with the 4th verse. So you can repeat after me. Atra shura maheswasa.
Atra shura maheshwasa.
Bhimarjuna samayudhi.
Bhimarjuna samayudhi.
Yuyudhano viratascha.
Yuyudhano viratascha.
Drupadascha maharatha.
Drupadascha maharatha.
Yes, one of you can recite.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Nilima Mataji, you can go ahead and recite, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Atra Sura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharataha.
Thank you, Mataji. Would you like to read the translation and purport, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yudhana, Virata and Drupada. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even though Drishtadyumna was not a very important obstacle in the face of Dronacharya's very great power in the military art, there were many others who were causes of fear. They are mentioned by Duryodhana as great stumbling blocks on the path of victory, because each and every one of them was as formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. He knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna, and thus he compared the others with them. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So I think last class I mentioned about Radhas, Atiradhas, Maharadhas, Maharadhas, all that. That time I said only Bhishma is Maharadha, and then Arjuna and Karna is the only ones. Especially here, I think I'm wrong actually. Especially here, it was mentioned that Yudhana, Virata, Drupada also Maharadhas, and there is a um, contradiction. In fact, Virata and Drupada are the Maharadhas. But here, I think Prabhupada has quoted it, then we can consider it they are Maharadhas too. So what is this Maharadha? Or Maharadha means basically a person who can fight at a time 60,000 people. Sorry, um 12 times 60,000. That is 720,000. That is 7.6 lakh. At a time they can fight with them, or they can control as a commander to that much army. So we can really remember in a way, if we convert the numbers, all that soldiers and all this kind of we call it as Pandavas having 7 Akshauhani, and Kauravas are having 11 Akshauhani. So roughly if you calculate all in terms of living beings, Akshauhani comes around 1 million or 250,000, something like that. So we can consider it as 7 million souls are fighting on the Pandava side, and 11 million are fighting on the other side. Now consider it, Maharadhas is almost controlling 720,000. That means what? So they're already having 3 here, Arjuna, and there on the other side we have like Bhishma, Karna, and then a couple of so we can really see the people who are fighting there, no ordinary souls, no ordinary people. Great people are fighting it. So here especially Duryodhana is trying to remind Dronacharya, don't think that Drishtadyumna is the only guy whom you thought, but there are people on the Pandava side who are very capable. Who is that one person? Yuyudhana. Anyone know who is Yuyudhana? This person is very popular actually. Anyone know who is Yuyudhana? He is Krishna's cousin actually.
Is Krishna's, from Krishna's side.
Yes, who is his name? Anyone know? Because he is popular with that name than Yuyudhana.
Satyaki, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Satyaki. So Satyaki is Krishna's cousin. In fact, he is the only one from Yadavas who fought on the side of Pandavas. Remaining all fought on the side of Kauravas. Interestingly, it is all Krishna's army, but except Satyaki, the rest of all, or Satyaki's army, Rest of all fought against to or against. So here interestingly Krutavarma. Krutavarma is another Yadava and who fought against. So Satiki and Krutavarma actually are friends, colleagues in the war mates when they fought in Yadava against to the demons and all. Now they are fighting on the opposite sides. Very interesting, huh? Opposite sides. So
Is he part of uh, the Narayani Sena, or she's totally different?
who? Satiki?
Satiki?
Yes. So Narayana Sena is basically a term used for the entire army, of Krishna. So
Okay.
especially when Krishna promised to Duryodhana, it is Krishna's army he promised it. But if you look at it, each individual having their own armies because
Mm.
they are all from different lineage. Satiki is not the same lineage as Krishna, and so each and every person like Kritavarma, all these ones, they have their own set of military, their own army. So when Satiki comes, his army came in this side. But when we may ask that Krishna promised that except Krishna, rest of all will fight to Duryodhana. So
Mm.
Krishna's army, yes, but Krishna is not promising on behalf of other people. Satiki, Krutavarma, even in fact Balarama. Balarama was asked to take sides, but Balarama said, I don't want to take any side at all. So he didn't participate. So there are a great many warriors in Yadava side who didn't participate. For example, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Samba, isn't it? Right? Especially Samba, who? Samba got married to Duryodhana's daughter, right? So Samba is Krishna's son, and he got married to Duryodhana's daughter, and he is supposed to fight on the Duryodhana's side. But now, no. So they didn't all, it's kind of, they didn't participate in this war at all. So there are many great. So we can see it here, who are all the people fought in this war apart from them. So just, the next, 5 to 6, 7 verses, it will give us who are all the people. So let us read through. So let's read the 5th verse. Drustakketuschekitanaha
दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः
Kasirajyasya viryavan
काशीराजवीर्यवान्
वीर्य
Purujit kunti bhojascha
पुरुजित्कुन्दिभोजश्च
Leibhyascha narapungavaha.
शैव्यश्च
शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः
Yes, one of you can recite this verse.
दृष्टकेस्तुश्चेकितानः काशीराजस्तवीर्यवान् पुरुजित्कुन्दिभोजश्च शैव्यश्च नरपुङ्गवा. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Prabhu. You can read the translation, Prabhu.
Yes, translate. There are also great, heroic, powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kasiraja, Purujit, Kundiboja, and Saibya. Thank you.
Thank you. So we can see it some more people on the Pandava side. This is a big list, especially Kunti Bhoja. Kunti Bhoja is the father of Kunti. Now here is interesting point we all can think of it. Kunti, by the time this Kurukshetra war, she is already old lady, isn't it? Right? Arjuna is having sons and grandsons too, right? Abhimanyu got married, Uttara is in pregnant, and what you call Bhima side, Ghatotkacha got his son Barbarika. So that means they're already Pandavas already having grandsons, grandchildren, and Kunti means grandchildren. Now Kunti's father. That means we can clearly see the people in Dwapara Yuga this is almost end of the Dwapara Yuga, isn't it? End of Dwapara Yuga. That means in Dwapara Yuga they have very, very long duration of life. Long duration of life. So sometimes it is referred as in Dwapara Yuga, people live up to 1,000 years. up to 1,000 years. So possibility is there. Now we can see, the father of Kunti is coming to fighting. So we can clearly see it, like, uh, everyone is taking sides now. Everyone is fighting like that. All right, let's read the next verse. Yudha manyuscha vikranta
Yudha
Yudha
Vikranta
uttamaujasya viryavan
Uttamamashasya Viryavan
saubhadro draupadeyascha
Sauputrapadeyascha
sarva eva maharataha.
Sarva
Maharata.
Yes, one of you can recite. Yes, Danya.
युधामन्यश्च विक्रान्ता उत्तममजश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयश्च सर्व एव महारथः.
Yes, you can read the translation, Danya, too.
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation. There are the mighty Yuddhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamaja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
Thank you, Danya. So here some more names were given, especially Yudhamanyu, Uttamaoja. So sometimes they're referred as the brothers. Those are the brothers of Draupadi. Those are the brothers of Draupadi. So, and also they said sons of Subhadra. Subhadra of son, who? Abhimanyu. So Abhimanyu is participating. And sons of Draupadi. That means Upapandavas. Draupadi is having 5 sons. Those 5 sons are fighting. So, and they're all great warriors, Maharathas. So, great warrior. So, here there is no one who born to Pandavas or, all, they're all an expert fighters, expert, military, warfares. So, let's read this one. अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये
तान्निबोध द्विजोत्तमा
तान्निबोधवितोचमा
नायिका मम सैन्यस्य
नायका मम सैन्यस्य
सैन्यार्धा तान् ब्रवीमि ते.
संग्रहणार्थं ब्रवीमि.
Yes, one of you can recite this one.
Prabhu, can I?
Yes, Ramakrishna.
Yes, Prabhu. अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तानि बोधाद्वितोत्तमा नायका मम सैन्यस्य सम्नातं तत्ब्रवीमि मे.
Yeah, you can read the translation to Ramakrishna.
Okay, Prabhu. But for your information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force.
Thank you, Ramakrishna. So here, now he is switching to Pandava side to Kaurava side. Now, so far he said Pandavas. Okay, Pandavas are all these captains and commanders. He introduced everyone who are all there. Now he is telling who are on his side. On his side. So let us see who are all the people his side. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
Krupascha Samatim Jayaha
कृपश्च समतिं जयः
Ashwathama Vikarnascha
अश्वत्थामविचार्णश्च
Saumadatti Stadaiva cha.
सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च.
Yes, one of you can recite, whoever is not recited.
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitim Jayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattistathaiva cha.
You can read the translation and purport, Prabhu.
Yes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in battle. Purport. Duryodhana mentions the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana, Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya, and Saumadatti or Bhurishrava is the son of the king of the Bahlikas. Karna is the half-brother of Arjuna, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So here the list of heroes from the Kauravas side. Who are they? Including Dronacharya, and we can see Bhishma. So their main source of Kauravas is Bhishma, right? Bhishma, and then Karna. So many occasions Karna and Arjuna went head to head. So they both are very powerful fighters. And Kripacharya, we know that Kripacharya and Dronacharya having relationship, right? Kripacharya's sister got married to Dronacharya. So that is how Kripacharya has, bring Dronacharya to Kuru dynasty. Earlier he was with Panjala, Drupada and everyone, and he brought them to here. So we can see it here. Ashwathama, Ashwathama is also very powerful fighter. Even though we didn't heard about much about Ashwathama, but he is on the level of very great fighters. So very great fighters. So here all he gave a list of on the Kaurava side. Now let us see who else he is talking. Anye cha bahava shura.
Anye cha bahava shura.
Madhardhe tyakta jivitaha.
Madharte jivitaha.
Nana shastra praharanaha.
Nana shastra praharanaha.
Sarve yuddha visharadaha.
Sarve visharadaha.
Yes, one more person can recite.
Prabhuji, can you scroll down?
Oh, sorry. I was.
Can you little bit, Prabhu?
Oh, okay.
Anye cha bahava shura madarde tyakta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuddha visharadaha.
You can read the translation and purport, Prabhu.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. Purport. As far as the others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of the sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was, of course, confident of his victory on account of the above mentioned combined strength of his friends. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So here, few more names were given. Jayadratha, Krutavarma, and Selya. Especially Selya. We know that. Anyone know the story of Selya? What is the prominence of Selya in Kurukshetra war? And we hear the name called Selya Saradyam. Selya Saradyam. What is so special about Selya? Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So nobody heard Mahabharat. What is the story of Selya and the name called Selya Saradhyam? Very, very strange. I think you haven't heard Mahabharat fully, or you haven't watched even the television serial or something like that. So Selya is a very famous fighter, right? He is also a Maharada. He's a very, very powerful fighter. So especially Selya Saradhya. What is the Selya Saradhya means? So if we look at the battle, when Karna is fighting against Arjuna, he told Duryodhana, what did he told? I can equally fight on par with Arjuna. The only problem, the driver, the chariot driver. There is no equal chariot driver to that of Krishna. So I need one expert driver so that I can match with Arjuna and I can take the head of Arjuna. So they searched everywhere and they finally found Selya. Selya has the art of controlling horses. It's called Ashwa. I don't know. I forgot. Nala. In our history, there are some people who knows. I think Nakula is one of them. Nala Damayanti in story, Nala is one of them who knows the heart of the art and heart of the horses, so that they are very experts, very, very experts. They can, with just their thoughts, they can control the horses, which direction they can go. So he asked, now what happened? Selya is not happy to be the driver of Karna. Why? Even though Duryodhana has given prominence to Karna, lot of people on Duryodhana's side, they didn't like Karna at all to begin with. They all having very little or ill feeling towards Karna. They never considered Karna is one of them, among one of them. They never considered. They all the time consider he is an inferior guy. So, in fact, it is true, because he is a son of, basically, until nobody knows that, because he was raised as a son of a Radhasarthi, right? He is a Radhasarthi son. So he's basically Shudra. In terms of Shudra, he's not a Kshatriya, he's a Shudra. So no Kshatriya willing to sit on the foot of a Shudra. So Selya is not happy, but he cannot deny Duryodhana. He cannot deny. So he sit in front of Karna, and what he did. So Selya, he discouraged Karna so much, and at the same time, he gave so much to about Arjuna. So he said, Arjuna can fight with Indra and Chandra and Shiva, but you are nothing in front of him, and it is better you give up and surrender to him and all. So in other words, Selya Saradhya means being on our side and helping the enemy. This is called Selya Saradhya. So he is being on the Kaurava side, but he helped Arjuna and Pandavas to kill Karna. So Selya is one of the reasons Karna got killed. There are many reasons why Karna got killed. People say that unlimited reasons are there Karna got to killed. Nobody is responsible for Karna's death, because Karna is such a great personality. So, so Selya Saradhya is prominent because being on our side, helping the enemy is called Selya Saradhya. This is what it is. So we can clearly see, this is about. So let's read the next verse. So this is a very interesting verse. Let's read it. अपर्याप्तं तदास्माकं
अपर्याप्तं तदात्माकं
बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम्
बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं
पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषाम्
पर्याप्तं त्विददेवेषां
बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्.
बलं भीमारक्षितं.
Yes, one more person can recite.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. अपर्याप्तं तद् अस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं तु इदम् इतेषां बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं. Sorry Prabhu if there is anything wrong.
No problem, Mataji. Please, can you please read the translation and purport, Mataji?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. Purport. Herein an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed force is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of the Pandavas are limited, being protected by a less experienced general, Bhima, who is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was far superior to general. His conclusion that he could come out of the battle victorious was well asserted.
Thank you, Mataji. So here especially very interesting how proud Duryodhana is. Or sometimes we have the same attitude. Especially this verse is very interesting verse. What did he say? Our strength is immeasurable and their strength is limited. Whereas the strength of Pandavas is just only Bhima, limited. See the proudness of Duryodhana. So this is where we go by number, isn't it? Sometimes we say that more the number, the better the victory or something. Not necessarily all the time it works like that. Huh? In the history, if we look at it, there are many times in the history, even the modern times, not necessarily the army that has more strength or more one or something. No, not necessarily. China has proven many times. Many dynasties got to bite the dust. Not necessarily we have strength doesn't mean that we win all the time. No, it's not at all in our control. But here we can see the proudness of Duryodhana. He is totally depending on Bhishma's prowess, right? Everyone know at that time, everyone know that there is no hero who can stand in front of Bhishma. Bhishma is called unconquerable hero. Unconquerable hero. Even Parshurama is no match to, or Parshurama is a partial incarnation of the Lord. But even he is also, kind of, no, in terms of he couldn't subdue Bhishma at all. So Bhishma has such power, like it is up to him. It is up to him. Except the Lord Krishna or except Lord Shiva, other than them, nobody is matched to Bhishma at all. It is up to Bhishma. So there is no match. So everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. So that is why everyone is so strong. Everyone is think that. We can understand, one in this context, I wanted to mention one thing to everyone. So Lord Krishna talking to Bhishma, asking about, they both are having good relationship. So Krishna asked Bhishma, if you were the leader, how many days it took to complete this Kurukshetra war? He says 20 days. In fact, it happened, what, 19 days? So, sorry, 18 days, sorry. I think it finished in 18 days or something like that. So, he said 20 days. And then he asked Dronacharya, how many days it took for you to finish it? 25 days. He asked Karna. Karna says 24 days. And he asked Arjuna. Arjuna said 28 days to finish it. And he asked the grandson of Bhima, or son of Ghatotkacha, he said, a moment. So we can see there are fighters who can finish this whole thing in no time at all. So Bhima's grandson, his name is Barbarika. So he's so powerful. He's so powerful that he's no good for anyone at all. So he gave a word to his master, his spiritual teacher. What did the word he gave it? He gave a word to his spiritual teacher that he only fight on the side of weak. On the side of weak. So he spoke to Krishna. So right now Pandavas are weak. I will fight on the Pandavas side. And I will kill all the Kauravas. But at the same time, when Kauravas become weak, then he will fight on the side of Kauravas and they will kill all Pandavas. So at the end, who will be left? Only Barbarika. No one will be left. Everyone will be killed. That is the power of him. So that is why Krishna don't want such personalities. Very interesting stories in Mahabharata. We think that, there's always evil things, see how Karna got killed, or how Abhimanyu got killed, how Ghatotkacha got killed, and all this. No, there is a bigger plan, Krishna doing it everywhere. See, if Barbarika killed everyone in 1 minute, what is the story of Kurukshetra? What do we learn? For whom Krishna speaks to Bhagavad Gita? See, this is not for the sake of a war or something Krishna started. No. This is a lesson to taught to the humanity that is yet to come in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the most worst of all the ages that is yet to appear. So they needed to be protected until Satyuga. They have to survive until Satyuga. So he has to retold. He needs to retold the Bhagavad Gita. So there are fighters who can finish this Kurukshetra in no time at all. Kurukshetra war. And also Bhishma, I think Mataji asked this question, why Bhishma has fighting on the side of Kauravas, why can't in Pandava's side? If he fight on the Pandava's side, there is no need of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna at all. Why Arjuna is, so much inclined? Because the other side is Bhishma, who his grandfather is there, who raised him especially. He is very fond of Bhishma. Because especially Arjuna was raised by Bhishma and kind of he knew. So if they fight on the side of Pandavas, why he needs to lament at all? He need not to lament. He can happily take them out. But that is not what Krishna wants. Krishna wants to taught us something. So this is all Krishna is orchestrated. So the gist of this thing is basically, so Barbarika promised it to Krishna, it's everyone thinks, see, when the Lord asks a devotee something, they feel happy because we never get a chance to give a boon, benediction to the Lord, isn't it? We always take benedictions from the Lord, not the other way around. Only few people get that opportunity. One, Bali Maharaj got that opportunity. Now here, one more opportunity like this. So he asked what? Take off your head. Cut off your head. So he asked one thing in return. He said he wants to watch the entire Kurukshetra war, even though his head is severed. So he watched the entire war. At the end of the war, Pandavas and only the left, right? Only few people left. So they're all arguing who is the reason for the victory or something, or who is orchestrated everything, and they keep on going back and forth. Some says Dharmaraja, some says Bhima, some says Arjuna, this and that. So finally, one says, go and talk to Barbarika because he is watching from the beginning. So he laughed at it while they are discussing all. So Arjuna asked, why are you laughing? None of you are the reason to this Kurukshetra war to win or to happen. This is all Lord Krishna. This is all Lord Krishna. So only few folks know. Bhishma knew. I think Sahadeva knew. And this is all Krishna is orchestrating. So very, very interesting. So very, let's read the next verse. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu
अयनेषु च सर्वेषु
yata bhagamavastitaha
यथा
यथा भागम् अवस्थितः
Bhishmamevaabhirakshantu
भीष्मेवाभिरक्षन्तु
bhavantas sarva eva hi.
भवन्तः सर्व एव हि।
Yes, one of you can recite this verse. Anyone?
I will raise.
And
Sorry, Prabhuji, go ahead.
no, Mataji, you can go ahead. I'm pausing.
Yeah, we can read one more words, no problem. One of you can recite.
Thank you, Prabhuji. अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागम् अवस्थिताः भीष्मम् एवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि.
Can you read the translation and purport too?
Yes, sure. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Purport. Duryodhana, after praising the prowess of Bhishma, further considered that others might think that they had been considered less important. So, in his usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above words. He emphasized that Bhishma Deva was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man. So everyone must especially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight, and the enemy might take advantage of his full engagement on the side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes not leave their strategic positions and allow the enemy to break the phalanx. Duryodhana clearly felt that the victory of the Kurus depended on the presence of Bhishma Deva. He was confident of the full support of Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya in the battle because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice while she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up as they had done during the gambling performances. Thank you.
So here is how diplomatic Duryodhana can be. See that one? Because if you give so much glorification to one hero and neglecting the other, no matter how much, how powerful Bhishma is, Bhishma alone is not fighting. There is Karna, there are other fighters, and especially Dronacharya. After Bhishma, Dronacharya is the most powerful figure in Kuru, Kuru side. So now what happened? So he is using it this line. Oh, okay. You protect the general. So if we really see it, the idea when a general is fighting in the war, of course, we're not talking about the modern wars. Modern wars are all happening in a what you call war room. I don't know whether you all heard about this war room concept. So there is a room and everything is in front of the computers, in front of monitors, everything. So in fact, all our generals, great generals, never into the fields at all. They're all behind the screens. Poor soldiers are the ones who are fighting in this. But here the condition is not like that. Here everyone is in the field actually. Dharmaraj is there, who is the Pandava side, the king, and Duryodhana is there on this side. So now the other's job is to protect whoever is fighting there. So Bhishma is the figure right now. So they require fighters to protect him. So now whose job is that one? Now Karna, Ashwatthama, Dronacharya, all these, they work on all sides of Bhishma such that Bhishma is never left alone. Someone to fight from behind, someone to fight from left side, they say, because his main goal is to fight with Arjuna. So when he is fighting with Arjuna, we have a list of heroes who can fight, right? Bhima is there. Bhima is there. And also Virata, Drupada, Drishtadyumna, many people were listed. All are there. What do? They can fight with Bhishma too. So these people, Karna, Dronacharya, Selya, Jayadratha, these are all the people who can counter them and protect Bhishma. So this is the way, how do they fight? So it's very, very important. So let's read the last verse for today. Tasya sanjanayan harsham
तस्य सञ्जयान् हर्षम्
Guru Vruddha Pitamaha
गुरुवृद्धः
Guru
पितामहः
Pitamaha
Simhanadam Vinadyoschay
Simhanadam Vinadyokshay
Shankam Dagmau Pratapavan.
Shankam Dadmau Pratapavan.
प्रतापवान्
Yes, Srini Prabhu, you can recite this, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. तस्य सञ्जनायां हर्षं गुरुवृद्धां पितामहान् सिंहनादं विनोदोच्चय शङ्खं दमदमौ प्रतापवान्. Translation. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Purport by his divine grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The grandsire of Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion of him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle, because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on other side. But still, it was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pains would be spared in that connection.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here is another statement that earlier we discussed about it. Bhishma is one of them who know the result of it, even without fighting. But anyway, he is standing. So let me give some relief to Duryodhana. He knew that there is no way they are going to win it. But anyway, time being, let him feel happy. So What he did, he blew his conch shell. This is also another interesting thing. Nowadays we fight, all our fightings are secret, espionage, going inside, secret, doing all the sorts of things. There is no valor, there is no pride in fighting, in fighting. But look at the old times. When they fight, they set times, they give warnings, and they give lot of things. Say this, the blowing conch shell is an indication to the enemy side as well as their side. Get ready, the war is getting to start, get ready. See the idea? Again, in the evening, when it is sunset, they stop fighting. And interestingly, after the sunset, they all meet and discuss. Pandava side, Pandavas come to Bhishma, Bhishma gives advices to them, and sometimes Arjuna goes to Duryodhana, he speaks to nicely with him. Very interesting, isn't it? So this is the way they fight. That means, compared to the people in Kali Yuga, they are far, far better people in Dwapara Yuga. Even though we consider them wrong, bad side, bad people, but compared to Kali Yuga, they are far, far better. Because their cheating is not the level of we cheating. Our cheating is the ultimate cheating. So that is why Krishna is very, very, kind of ready to give this Bhagavad Gita message, because this is very much needed for Kali Yuga. Even though it is applicable to all yugas people were known Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself mentioned, isn't it? So himself, he is going to tell in the 4th chapter, 1st verse, I gave this knowledge to Vivaswan to Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku, Ikshvaku to further, and this was broken. Now I am giving it to you. So that means this was spoken in Satyuga time too. But especially in Kali Yuga, this is very, very essential. So I'll stop it here for today, and let us hear if we have any comments and questions from anyone. Today I see a good group of people. First time I'm seeing it. So thanks for everyone joining. So if we have any comments, questions, and if you have any stories you heard about Mahabharata, especially, we are all from India. We got exposed to Mahabharata and Ramayana, no matter which state we are in, no matter which city we were raised in, we were, which place we born in. I think at least we know some portion of Mahabharata or Ramayana, something like that. So I wanted to hear any comments, anything from your end. Anyone? You can open up your mics.
Yeah, Prabhu. I have the one. It's not comment, Prabhu. Maybe it comes as a question here.
Yes.
Bhishma is saying here, he's doing his duty to conduct the war or fight. We also work every day to day life, and how we can map these two things, Prabhu?
A very, very wonderful question, actually. Very, very wonderful question. So we in Kali Yuga, we always have this question, and every single one of us feels that what we are doing is right. I'm doing my dharma. Even if we go and ask the butcher who is killing the animals left and right selling, and he will also give a wonderful reason, and he can convince us too. So how do we know that what is right and what is wrong? Who will tell us what is right and what is wrong? If every person living on this earth has his own reason to do what he is doing, then whom do we question that this is right and this is wrong? How do we know that what is right, what is wrong? So there should be some guidance for us to tell that this is wrong, this is right. It is not me thinking it is right, or it is 10 people are thinking, that is why it is right. It is 100 people are thinking, that is why it is right. No. Unfortunately, in today's world, every one of us using this logic, isn't it? If 100 people says yes, it will become yes. Isn't it the system we follow in the world today? Our biggest thing is election, right? More the people choose, he will become the president. Even if 49% one side, 51% on the other side, he wins. Think of it one angle. 49% of the people are saying he is wrong, then how right he could be? That means our right and wrong has only value depending on where we are using it, how we are using it, whom we are using it, all this. That is why Shastra has given a guidance for us. A guidance for us. That is why we were asked to follow dharma, 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 right? Especially we are all from India. We heard this line, dharmo rakshita rakshitaha. What does it mean by dharmo rakshita rakshitaha? If you protect the dharma, dharma will protect you, isn't it? This is the fundamental principle that our constitution is even raised actually. Isn't it? Our principle is what? We protect dharma. So that means we uphold justice, we uphold law and order. Then what happened? Law and order will protect you. So what is dharma? Now the question we should ask is, what is dharma? What is dharma? So we need to know what is dharma. As a father, the dharma of father is to looking after the family. As a husband, his responsibility towards his family, his wife. As children, taking care of parents is their duty. So each and every person has a duty to follow. Every person has a duty to follow. Here, Bhishma also has a duty. What duty he has? He is eating, he is depending on Duryodhana. He is depending on Duryodhana. He may say, we may say that, oh, Bhishma is unconquerable hero, he is the founder of Kuru dynasty, this and that, or some, but it doesn't matter. Time being, Bhishma is dependent on Duryodhana. Duryodhana is the king. Bhishma is the subject of the king. So whatever the king says, the subject has to listen. So Bhishma has the duty to protect Duryodhana. Even though that is wrong, he is doing it. Now, we may have in the situations in the real life like that also. That is why we need Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. If we have these three, when we are in a confused state, they can bring us out. They can bring us out. So in one sense, Krishna declared. What is the ultimate instruction of Krishna from Bhagavad Gita? Anyone know? In situations like this, someone is trying to say something?
Yeah, Mamekam Sharanam Govati.
Yeah, that is correct. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. See, he said sarva dharman parityaja. That means take away all dharmas, then listen to me. Now, listen to Krishna. What is Krishna to listen to? So whatever Krishna spoken here, we need to listen to. based on our level. Some people are at the level of peripheral, on the body, so then karma yoga. Some people, intellectuals, mentally, then go to jnana yoga. Some people are emotional, connected to, use their emotion, then go to bhakti yoga. That means Krishna is giving all people a way to connect it to him. So here also, our duty to work every single day is to feed what? To take care of family. Now include Krishna in that family. That is all we have to do. The work which we are doing every day is for the family, and include Krishna in that family. That is all we have to do. Try to see our children as the devotees of Krishna. Try to see our parents are devotees of Krishna. Try to see our neighbors as devotees of Krishna. Try to see the living entities are devotees of Krishna. Then what happens? Our heart becomes soft and soft, soft and soft. Because everyone is a devotee of Krishna, and ourselves are also devotee of Krishna. So it is very simple, very simple. But when it to hear, understand is simple, but practicing the same is very difficult. Why? Because these are my children, this is my family, these are my parents, this is my home. If something happens to me, outsiders are not going to come and help me. So I have to help myself. So we already divided me and mine versus them and others. That is all the problem where comes. So if we look at the entire Bhagavad Gita, every single time Krishna is asking this one. You are not this body. Whenever we think that I am this body, this problem starts. Because these are mine, those are yours. We have to rise from that one. Then there won't be any problem. But this is all very theoretical. But my point is, no matter how theoretical it is, we can apply slowly, little by little. As I said, we are going to the office for working, getting money. What will happen if I don't work and I don't have money? Then I cannot feed. Feed who? My family. So instead of saying my family, Krishna's family. I cannot feed Krishna's family. Then that all become a good thing to do it. So all we need to do is somehow bring Krishna into our lives. Whichever way, it is deity worship, remembering, chanting, listening, whichever way is convenient. There is no force in this. This is 100% voluntary, 100% to get satisfaction and happiness. If I am not peaceful and happy, then why I am practicing it? If it is horrible, sad, depressed, why even I wanted to talk? So this must be to bring peace, this must be happy, and this must be volunteered. No force. Just, little interest, See, the new things will come up, will show interest. So show interest, what Krishna is talking. Is Krishna is trying to tell something? I think I gave a very lengthy answer, but it's a wonderful question. Is it any useful, Srini Prabhu?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I got a lot of things, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So anyone have any last question for today?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji. So Vyasa gave bone to Sanjaya about the divine vision. So, I mean, why can't he give to Dhritarashtra and why Dhritarashtra is blind throughout all, Prabhu? What we can understand from this?
Anyone can answer this one? I think this was answered many times actually. Anyone know what was the answer for this one? Mahesh Prabhu, Nayanar Prabhu. Have you come back?
Prabhu, what's the question, Prabhu? Sorry.
The question is Vyasadev giving the divine vision to Sanjaya. Instead of giving it to Sanjaya, Sanjaya explaining why can't he give it to Dhritarashtra so that Dhritarashtra can see what is happening instead of this discussion Sanjaya explaining to him.
Prabhu, could I try answering?
Yes, please.
Because the battle was very devastating and both parties, Dhritarashtra loved the Kauravas more, so it was very sad to see all of them dying for him. So if Sanjaya, if he did give the vision, Dhritarashtra would be very merciful and it will be very sad. So therefore Sanjaya instead he told him, so which is less sad.
This is Ramakrishna, and if how many of you know Ramakrishna? He's a wonderful boy, very, very small boy. How old is he now, Nayanar Prabhu? How old are you, Ramakrishna?
Prabhu, I'm 12 years old.
Okay, now 12 years old. We have seen him like, a very, very small boy, like 3-4 years or even lesser. So, now we can see Ramakrishna, attending, this Gurukula and everything, like, Danya, or Sahasra, all are, we can see. What Ramakrishna said is 100% correct. So, Dhritarashtra being a father, his son's getting killed. He cannot watch it. So that is why he don't want any vision at all. He don't want to watch it. But at the same time, he is hoping for the impossible. He wants his son to win. So he wants to know the news. So he cannot dare to see, watch it, digest it, but he is ready to, or he prepared to listen what is happening, because his anxiety, what is happening, what is next, his anxiety is not letting him not to know what is happening. So if we watch with directly our eyes, sometimes we can't tolerate, but when we listen, we do tolerate. I had this experience. I'm just giving one quick example myself. So one time, I feel that I'm a very courageous, bold person. I say in front of everyone, I walk in the night in the middle of to the graveyards and all these things. I bet with my friends. So I felt like I'm very good and strong. One time, my neighbor asked me to take his daughter to a clinic. She has a hard boil or something like that, and nobody is there, and she asked me to take her to the clinic, to the doctor, to set it up. I took her. The doctor already warned me, this won't be nice, there will be cut and lot of blood will come out and everything, and I suggest you go and sit outside. I said, no, I have seen enough, and I don't care for this small blood here and there. Guess what? I'm watching right in front of me, cut that one, and blood gushed out, from that, wound. For a second, my head started spinning quickly. So the nurse behind me, she hold me for a second. Afterwards, I come into my consciousness, but that for that few seconds, I'm about to fall down actually. So that means watching with our own eyes versus listening, there's a lot of difference. So that is what exactly Dhritarashtra is feeling. Thank you, Ramakrishna. Good answer.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So Is that help, Krishna Prabhu?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. So, in extension to that, Prabhu. So, for this war, that is fine, Prabhu. So, why he is from the birth, he is blind? Vyasa is a so much great rishi, and his son has blind, and what we can understand from that, Prabhu.
Oh, very simple, very simple. Everything has a logic actually. Ramakrishna, do you answer? Do you know the answer why Dhritarashtra is blind?
Prabhuji, he left. Prabhuji.
Oh, okay. Anyone know why Dhritarashtra is blind? So in Quake, the origin of Kuru dynasty starts with Santana, and his sons are Bhishmadev. And Bhishmadev, whatever the reasons, he didn't marry. And through another mother, Satyavati and Shantana, they got Chitrangada, Vichitravirya. Those are the, and now they got married to Ambika, Ambalika. Okay? They got married to Ambika, Ambalika. Unfortunately, before they get any offsprings, children, Vichitravirya and Chitrangada both got killed. So Satyavati and Santana pursued Bhishma to marry, have children, and let the lineage of Kuru get going. But Bhishma took a vow he never marry at all. So he don't want to go back on his word. That is why we call it as Bhishma's word. Bhishma Pratigna. We call it as Bhishma Pratigna. That means if someone stand on his word, that is called Bhishma Pratigna. So what happened to this entire big Kuru dynasty without any hair? So there must be something. Now Satyavati, his son Vyadavyas, through Parashara Muni, she invited Vyadavyas. You are a very great sage. You have all these mystic powers. With your mystic powers, can you provide some hair to this Kuru dynasty? So it is not something he can magically swift his wand and bring a child from air or something. Not like that. So what happened? He needs some partner to do it. So who are those partners? So the first wife of Vichitravirya's, I think, Ambika. So Ambika and Vyadavyas, to this mystic, union. Vyadavyas is with big mated hair and these beards, and it's a kind of, he is a sage, uncivilized person in one term, right? But Ambika is basically a princess. She is expecting a nice polished prince or something like that, but Vyadavyas is completely, what she did during that union, she closed her eyes. Because she didn't want to see it. The child she bore a child with blindness. That is why he is born blind. Dhritarashtra born blind. Same goes with Panduraj. Pandu is not a great word or something, one sense actually. Pandu means what? It is a disease. Pale, not having blood, pale. This is like kind of, that is Pandu. It's a disease actually. So what is Pandu? Basically, Ambalika, she completely kind of, a fainted state, kind of. She didn't expect that, Vyasadeva is something like this, and she lost her senses and completely her face is pale, without red, without any blood or anything. Now she got a son of a Pandu with this disease. Now what happened? Satyavati tried one more round. No, you both did wrong, children. There is no good son capable of leading this one. So you try. Now what they did? They didn't want to deny Satyavati, but at the same time they don't want to. So what they did? They sent their servant maid. Instead of them going to Vedavyas, they went to servant maid. Now the servant maid, she is fine. She doesn't have any problem. Then what happened? She got a wonderful son. And who is that son? Anyone know? Most prominent figure. Who is that son?
Vidura Prabhuji.
Yes, Vidura. So Vidura got born. Now if we look at it, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, Vidura. These are the sons of Vedavyas. So Vidura became a great devotee of Krishna. Pandu died in the middle. Dhritarashtra without blindness and attached to his children. Now if you look at each and every character specifies something. Dhritarashtra completely controlled, or completely he wants everything, so passionate, so everything, and we can see all qualities of kind of aggression. We can see it in Dhritarashtra. Not even one single good thing. He is full personified. He didn't even achieve liberation at the end of his life. Why? He is an envious person. Complete envious. On the other hand, Pandu is a good person. There is no doubt in there. But he is deceased, but at the same time, he is also having his own kind of, so he died in the middle. Only Vidura become a devotee. But Vidura is also not a Kshatriya, because of Shudra and everything, he didn't take up or lead any at all. Now finally end up with Dhritarashtra. So Pandu supported Dhritarashtra to become the king, and Dhritarashtra took over, and especially when Pandu died of it. Does that help, Krishna Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Sorry for everyone. I think we went above it's little, and but very interesting, and thanks for everyone joining, and I'm extremely sorry for taking a little longer today, and we'll close it in time next week. So I sincerely request everyone join Monday call, Bhagavatam 8:30. So we will also discussing exactly the same kind of philosophy there too, and we are talking about impersonal feature of the Lord. Impersonal feature of the Lord. Please join. Thank you, everyone. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
Jai.
Shri Radha Madhav ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Jai.
Very much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare